Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday Chinese English Academy, your daily guide to Chinese language and culture. I'm Ming.
And I'm Emma. Today we are going somewhere loud, colorful, a little chaotic, and strangely warm.
A place where dinner begins before dinner exists.
That sounds poetic, also maybe wet.
Very possible. Today we are going into a Chinese caishichang, a local food market.
The market that knows your name.
Exactly. Not a tourist attraction, not a polished supermarket, but one of the most revealing places in everyday Chinese city life. The first time Emma walked into a Chinese market, she stopped at the entrance for about 3 seconds.
Because my brain needed to load.
Like an old computer.
Exactly. On the left, there were vegetables stacked in bright green mountains. On the right, fish were splashing in tanks. Somewhere in the middle, an auntie was choosing tomatoes with the seriousness of a scientist selecting moon rocks.
Chinese aunties do not casually choose tomatoes.
I learned that immediately. She picked one up, squeezed it, looked at it, put it down, picked up another one, then somehow judged the first tomato from across the table.
Experience.
And the sound was different from a supermarket. No soft music, no calm, frozen food aisle. People were talking, bags were rustling, water was running, someone was chopping something, someone was asking a price, someone was saying, fresh today, very fresh.
That is the first thing to understand. A supermarket is organized silence. A Chinese market is organized noise.
Organized noise is a perfect phrase.
The market is not just where food is sold. It is where people compare, ask, touch, smell, negotiate, remember, and sometimes gossip.
So shopping is not just choosing an item. Shopping is a conversation.
Yes, and that is why this episode matters. If you want to understand Chinese daily life, you do not only look at famous landmarks, you look at where people buy vegetables.
That sounds humble, but it is true.
Today we will learn 6 words: caishichang, tanwei, xinxian, cheng, jin, and jiangjia.
6 words for surviving the vegetable universe.
And maybe enjoying it.
Before we learn the words, let's talk about why the market feels so different.
For me, the biggest difference was that everything felt closer to real life. In a supermarket, food is cleaned, packaged, labeled, and quiet. In the market, food still has a story.
Exactly. You can see what is seasonal. You can see what people are cooking this week. You can see who buys small amounts, who buys for a whole family, who knows the seller, who is new.
I also noticed the time rhythm. Morning felt different from late afternoon.
Very different. In the morning, older people often come early. They want the freshest vegetables, the best fish, the first choices. Later, people who work during the day may stop by on the way home and buy ingredients for dinner.
So the market has a daily schedule.
Yes, it breathes with the neighborhood. And that is why I like the title today, The Market That Knows Your Name.
Because if you go often enough, it really might. The seller may remember what you like, how much you usually buy, whether you cook for one person or a family, whether you are brave enough for bitter melon.
I am not brave enough for bitter melon.
We will work on that.
No promises.
The first word is caishichang, caishichang, caishichang.
I hear cai, kai. That means vegetables, right?
Yes, cai can mean vegetables, but in daily Chinese, it can also mean dishes or food ingredients more broadly. Shichang means market. So, caishichang is the market where you buy food ingredients, vegetables, meat, fish, eggs, tofu, fruit, spices.
So it is not only vegetables.
Right. The word has cai, but the place is much bigger than vegetables.
Cai, shi, chang.
Good. The last syllable is chang, third tone in pinyin here as chang, but in natural speech, it can feel light, caishichang.
菜市场
In English, people sometimes translate it as wet market, but that phrase can sound strange or even scary depending on the listener. In everyday China, caishichang is just a local food market.
Why wet?
Because there may be water on the floor from washing vegetables, fish tanks, seafood, ice, cleaning. It is not like a dry packaged supermarket, but the important meaning is fresh ingredients, local sellers, daily shopping.
That helps, because the first time I heard wet market, I imagined something much more dramatic than people buying green onions.
Most of the time, it is very normal. Someone buying tomatoes, someone choosing eggs, someone asking which vegetable is good for soup.
So 菜市场 is where home cooking starts.
Exactly. If a supermarket is a system, 菜市场 is a neighborhood kitchen before the kitchen.
That is a very good sentence.
Thank you. I wrote it while buying onions. The second word is tanwei. Tanwei. Tanwei.
What does it literally mean?
Tan means to spread out, like spreading goods out to sell. Wei means place or position. So tanwei is a stall, a small selling spot in the market.
Like one vegetable stall, one fruit stall, one tofu stall?
Exactly. Each tanwei has its own personality. Some are neat and quiet. Some are loud and energetic. Some sellers talk non-stop. Some just look at you and somehow know you are confused.
I have been seen that way.
By a cabbage seller?
By many cabbage sellers.
Try the word.
Tanwei. Tanwei?
Good. Wei is like wei, but shorter. Tanwei.
Tanwei.
In a supermarket, brands organize your experience. In a market, tanwei organize your experience. You may have a favorite fruit stall, a favorite tofu stall, a favorite vegetable seller.
So people build habits around specific stalls.
Yes, someone might say, I always buy eggs from that stall. Not because the sign is beautiful, but because the seller is reliable, the price feels fair, or the eggs are good.
That feels personal.
It is. And once you go often, the seller may recognize you. Maybe they ask, still making soup today? Or you want the small tomatoes again?
That would make me feel both loved and exposed.
Welcome to neighborhood life.
There is no hiding from the vegetable auntie.
None. The third word is xinxian. Xinxian. Xinxian.
I have heard this one. It means fresh.
Yes, xin means new. Xian means fresh, especially in food. Sometimes also delicious in a clean, lively way. Together, xinxian means fresh.
xinxian. Xinxian?
Close. Xin, xian. Both start with X in pinyin, which is like a light SH sound with your tongue forward. Xinxian.
Xinxian.
In a Chinese market, xinxian is one of the most important words. People care about whether vegetables are fresh, whether fish is fresh, whether fruit is fresh, whether tofu was made today.
I noticed people do not only look, they touch, smell, compare, ask questions.
Exactly. Freshness is not just a date printed on a package. It is judged by color, smell, texture, season, and trust.
Trust?
Yes. If a seller tells you, this batch is fresh today, and you trust that seller, it matters. If you go often, you learn who is honest, who gives good recommendations, who just wants to sell everything quickly.
So xinxian is about food quality, but also relationship quality.
That is a very Emma sentence, and it is true.
In a supermarket, freshness is a label. In the market, freshness is a conversation.
Exactly. And sometimes the seller will tell you not to buy something.
Really?
Yes. If they know you, yes. They might say, do not buy this today. That one is better. That's when you know you have entered the market relationship.
That is when the market knows your name.
The fourth word is cheng. In this context, it means to weigh. Slowly, cheng, cheng.
Just one syllable?
Yes, simple word, important action. In a market, many things are sold by weight. You choose vegetables, the seller puts them on a scale, and they cheng it.
So cheng is the action of weighing.
Exactly. You may hear the seller say, 称一下, let me weigh it. Or you can say, 帮我称一下, please weigh it for me.
Cheng, cheng.
Good. Not change, but cheng, short and clean.
Cheng.
This is where many newcomers get nervous. In a supermarket, the weight and price are often printed already. In a market, you may point at vegetables, the seller grabs a handful, puts it on the scale, and suddenly you have to decide if that is too much.
That was me. I asked for some green beans, and the seller grabbed enough green beans to feed a small sports team.
The seller may assume you are cooking for a family.
I was cooking for one confused person.
Useful phrases. 少一点, a little less. 够了, enough. You do not need perfect grammar. You need survival signals.
少一点, 够了. Very useful.
See? The market teaches practical Chinese fast. The fifth word is jin, jin. This is a Chinese weight unit. 1 jin is 500 grams, half a kilogram.
This word is dangerous if you do not know it.
Yes, because prices in markets are often quoted per jin, not per kilogram.
So if I see a price and assume it is per kilo, I might misunderstand.
Exactly. If apples are priced at a certain amount per jin, that means per 500 grams. You may hear 1 jin, 1 jin, 半斤, half a jin, 2 jin, 2 jin.
Jin, jin.
Good. Simple pronunciation. Jin.
Jin. So 1 jin is 500 grams. I can remember that.
In daily life, jin feels very natural to Chinese speakers. People may say, buy 1 jin of tomatoes, half a jin of mushrooms, 2 jin of oranges.
In English, I usually think in pounds or kilograms, so this is like entering a new measurement world.
Exactly. And this is a small but important cultural point. Language is not only words, it is units. If you do not know the local units, daily life feels slightly blurry.
That is so true. I can know the word for tomato, but if I do not know how much 1 jin is, I still do not know what I'm buying.
Perfect. Caishichang teaches you that vocabulary is physical. It has weight.
Literally.
Literally.
The last word is jiangjia. Jiangjia. Jiangjia.
I know jia is price.
Yes, jiang means to talk. Jia means price. So jiangjia literally means talk price or bargain.
Do people still bargain in Chinese markets?
It depends. In many city food markets today, prices are clearer than before. For everyday vegetables, people may not bargain much, especially if the price is already low and regular. But the word jiangjia is still important. You hear it in markets, small shops, tourist areas, second-hand buying, and many informal situations.
So it does not mean you must bargain every time.
Correct. This is important. Do not walk into every vegetable stall like you are negotiating a house purchase.
Noted.
Try the word.
Jiangjia. Jiangjia.
Good. Jiangjia.
Jiangjia.
The cultural point is that bargaining, when it happens, is not only about money. It can be a social dance. The buyer jokes, the seller smiles. Someone says, "Come on, make it cheaper." Someone says, "I already gave you the best price."
So it is not necessarily aggressive.
Right. Good jiangjia has rhythm. Bad jiangjia is just rude. If you are new, watch first. See whether other people are bargaining. If everyone is just paying the listed price, follow that.
I like that advice. Observe before performing.
Exactly. In China, a lot of daily intelligence is observation.
And in my case, asking Ming before I embarrass myself.
Also useful.
Now let's talk about the title, The Market That Knows Your Name.
This is the part I love.
If you go to the same market regularly, you may start building tiny relationships, not dramatic relationships, small ones. The vegetable seller remembers you like small potatoes. The tofu seller remembers you usually buy one piece. The fruit seller tells you which oranges are sweeter today.
That is so different from a supermarket membership app.
How?
A supermarket app knows my purchase history. A market seller remembers my habits. One is data, the other is human memory.
That is the emotional center of this episode.
It also changes how shopping feels. In a supermarket, I am anonymous. In the market, I might be the foreign girl who buys too many green beans.
A strong identity.
Not the one I planned, but okay.
And this is not always perfectly romantic. Markets can be noisy, crowded, wet, confusing. You may not know the price system. You may not know what a vegetable is. You may worry you are slowing people down.
Yes, it can be intimidating.
But if you slow down and watch, the logic appears. Vegetables here, fruit there, tofu there, fish over there, scale on the table, bags hanging nearby, payment code on the wall.
And after a few visits, the chaos becomes a map.
Exactly. That is one of the best feelings in a new country, the moment a confusing place becomes usable.
The first time you know where to stand.
The first time you know how much to ask for.
The first time the seller recognizes you.
And maybe says, this one is xinxian today.
Then you have officially leveled up.
So today we walked through a Chinese caishichang, a local food market.
We learned caishichang, food market.
Tanwei, stall.
Xinxian, fresh.
Cheng, to weigh.
Jin, a Chinese weight unit equal to 500 grams.
And jiangjia, to bargain or negotiate price.
If you visit a Chinese market, you do not have to buy everything. Just walk slowly, look at the colors, listen to the sounds, watch how people choose food.
And if you buy something, start small.
Maybe one tomato.
A very xinxian tomato.
If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and leave us a comment. Where do you usually buy food? Supermarkets, farmers markets, street markets, or somewhere else?
Thanks for listening to Everyday Chinese English Academy.
See you next time. 再见.
再见.